good evening, wherever it is where you are. For me, it is April 30th, 2:09 a.m., 4 hours earlier than that, back home. If you've been watching our route over the course of the day, you might notice, might have more noticeable progress than you're used to seeing. We moved like crazy today. Wind really picked up. It's almost right behind us, right coming from right over our back shoulder if we're looking forward on the boat. And we just flew during the day today. We took down the big code zero for the night, and we're still moving 7 knots and change, around 7 knots, I guess, on average. Wind speeds 19 knots. Along with the increased winds, it's a little more rolling, but it's not that bad. You know, we walk around. There are lots of handholds in the cabin to each side of the door. I'm looking, we got bars on the ceiling, a big up and down bar. The table here where I'm sitting has a big handhold. And then going down the corridor, it's a narrow thing. So if you've got these giant shoulders like me, you don't really have room to fall over anyway. But it's not bad at all. It's pretty steady. Uh, with the increased wind too, there's more pressure on the sails. So we don't have like where we go in the trough of the wave and the sail loses its shape and you hear kunk, you know, with the lines and the blocks relax and then where it catches again. None of that. So it's actually more quiet here at 18 knots of wind than it was with 12. Um, Sailing along real nicely. I did the updated models for the wind forecast, and they are wanting us to go a lot more directly to the Caribbean now, which is going to be good for morale on the boat. The big screen shows the distance to destination, and it sucks to sail all day and see that number barely go down. Also predicts a time to destination, which jumps wildly all over the place, but you know, looks like we might be in the 200-hour range. I don't know what that translates to in days, and I don't put a lot of stock in that anymore. We'll see. Um, Tonight I'm gonna show you a little video about how to flush the toilet on Velvet Elvis. And I didn't want to come across like a crazy person back there talking in the restaurant, so I just took the shots and I'm gonna try to plug it in here behind my head and voice over it. We'll see how that works. You know, this is amateur hour for my video editing, so it will probably be a fiasco, but what else is new? Oh, speaking of fiascos, none today. We set our sails and just flew along. Didn't touch them, literally didn't touch them until we were ready to change them for the night. Uh, the internet did go down for, I don't know, maybe an hour or so. Not sure why. We were getting a message about not authorized to use in the ocean, which is funny because we've been out here a long time. But it came back and no problem so far tonight while I've been up using it. We'll see. Gonna be a fiasco if that goes down, but hopefully it won't. All right, here we are. We're standing forward in the boat, looking aft. We're standing at the front inside and looking toward the back. Light switches are all on the ceiling, and in we step to the quarter little background area. So here's our buttons. The top one is really our flush button. It's a combination of the bottom two, the one on the left, or the one on the right brings water into the bowl. The one on the left empties the bowl. Water in, empty. We keep the bowl stays empty most of the time because you don't want it sloshing around, spilling out. So you start by filling the bowl with water. Let's go from the beginning. Fill the bowl with water. Do our business. And then we use the top one to flush it out. Fill it with water. Let's flush. Oh, there we go. Flush, flush, flush. And now this on the left pumps it back empty. A couple nights ago, when we looked at where the salt water comes into the boat, we talked about how some of that water gets diverted off to the toilet. So if you visit and are using the toilet, you don't have to be conservative with that water. Flush it over and over and over and over and over. All the better to keep the bowl clean and keep the schmutz out of the tanks and into the ocean where it belongs. All right, that's it for me tonight. Hope y'all have a great one. Talk to you tomorrow.